What's up? All right, we're live, dude. Okay. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Insane week so far that we have had. If you're digging the volatility, first off, I'm gonna show you how we predicted the news that just came out that pumped the stock markets as well as gold and silver. In just 1 week's time, we have called the top on gold. We have called the top on silver. We called the top on the NASDAQ. We called the bottom on gold. We called the bottom on silver. We called the bottom on Bitcoin. We called the bottom on the S&P, and we called the bottom on the NASDAQ. 8 trades in a week's time. I'm going to prove this all to you. We did all of this live, by the way, and I gave out the majority of those trade setups. I gave them out in advance, days, if not weeks in advance, and I'm going to show them to you. But what I'm also going to do inside of this video, hopefully this is going to be helpful to you and you're going to like it. We're going to show you how I don't even watch the news. I don't watch the news. We knew that this was going to happen. The news is preceded by volume, okay? So like when they came out with the news saying, oh, we're going to ease the bond market or whatever, and then the stock market went and started flying up, gold went flying up, silver went flying up, Bitcoin went flying up. Dude, we already knew that was going to happen. Why? Because our levels never lie. The levels don't lie. The one thing the institutions cannot hide, my friends, is their volume. And when news is going to be coming out like this, they know. Okay, so they're going to be positioning months, weeks, and even days in advance. So if you are tracking what they're doing, which is exactly what I do, you have all of the levels before the news even hits and you're already positioned. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And I'm going to show you how to automate it too, because this is fully automated for me. All I do is click a button and it shows up on my charts in 5 seconds. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you, we're going to rip through the assets. It's going to go gold, silver, Bitcoin, S&P, NASDAQ. I'm going to show you how we called the tops and bottoms on these assets in just the past week. I'm going to show you the trades that we had set up that hit, and I'm going to show you exactly how you would have been able to profit from this, right? By just having these indicators on your chart and knowing these exact levels, just being able to interpret it. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that, period. Okay. And hopefully that'll be more helpful to you than anything that you will see on YouTube today, because I promise you, no one else is doing this. No one else is doing this. I know that for a fact. So let's just get straight into it. But first, what I want to show you really quick, I just want to show you a couple of really cool things. The people that are using these indicators are absolutely printing money, and I can prove it, and I'm going to show it to you really quick. So let's add this to the stage. This is the this is a person that 2 days ago, okay, this was on the 17th. His name is Prep Texan in here. He got the indicators, and literally the very first day that he got the indicators, he made $1,100 using my levels on silver and Bitcoin from the morning video on this channel and using the indicators. Okay. So feel free to pause the video if you want to read his entire testimonial or whatever, what he put in our trading group forum. And if you want to get into that Discord, you can get into that Discord for free. It's the Alpha Intelligence Discord. It's got trainings, all types of stuff in it, and you can get in there for free. It's in the description. Now, this dude made $1,100 on his first day back. Look at this guy. This dude, Justin Dietz, commented this on my YouTube video yesterday. Okay, this is from the video from yesterday. And I said, hey, man. Well, he said, hey, Drew, I've been playing with the indicators for a couple of days now, right? He's still on his free trial, or his trial, $7 trial, by the way. Used them on the S&P for an $800 gain. And then I used them again yesterday, bought 2 puts on the S&P, and then sold them this morning for $1,500. My friends, that dude paid $7 to try out the indicators and made $2,300 before his 7-day trial was even up. He took $7 and turned it into $2,300 based solely off of the indicators. Look, I'm not lying. This is what this guy said. All based off of your indicators. Alpha Intelligence will continue to play with them, right? Absolutely insane. Do you know what that turns out to be? That is over a 300x ROI on the $7 that he spent. And it's a 40x ROI on what he would be renewing for on a monthly basis for the indicators. He literally paid for the next 40 months of his indicators in 2 days, in 2 trades. Absolutely insane. Same with the other guy. He paid for like 20 months plus of indicator use in 1 trade. $1,100. Absolutely insane. He paid for almost 2 years worth of the indicator subscriptions. Dude, that is crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's get into, you know, what we were going to talk about, right? Which is, how did we call the top on gold? Whoops, sorry. All right. Before we get into that, I need to say this. Every piece of TA that I do, every trade setup that I give out privately, like in the private community, they're all based on one thing, and it's these indicators. No trade do I give out ever that's not based on these indicators. I will never give you a piece of analysis that's not based on this. And the reason is because they work so well. That's why I have an 82% documented win rate. Okay. Win rate doesn't matter, but risk to reward does. Okay. But having a high win rate and a high risk to reward is absolutely insane. Okay. So let's show you. All right. Here's the short. Right here, you got a swing failure pattern into, there was an order block set back here, right? And then what you also got was this. You got the swing failure pattern, which is the triangle. It's very simple. All you have to see is the triangle pointing down. It's telling you what way price wants you to go, okay? Second to that, the other thing that you have to watch for, and this is from a free indicator. So this triangle is popping up from what is called Alpha Structure Suite by Alpha Intelligence. It's telling you the market is faking you out to rip you back down to the downside, right? The only other thing you needed to see was pull up RSI and see if you got the bearish divergence. All a bearish divergence is when price is trending up, setting higher highs, RSI is setting lower highs. You got that, you got a trade, and then guess what your take profit target is? It's your order block set that is right here. That's it. That is your take profit target. So you enter, boom, full take profit, and then guess what happened at the bottom? Well, I'm going to show you. Boom, you entered right into the order block set. We had this set up in advance, and then you pushed up, okay? We had this trade set up in advance, full take profit. Absolutely insane trade. Look at the risk to reward on this, 5.6x risk to reward. Absolutely insane trade. Then you got the same trade. We were talking about this level all over again. So not only did we call the top here, did the indicators call the top, they also called the bottom, and they called the bottom way back here, to be honest with you, like way, way, way back here. They called the bottom here, right? Very simple, very easy to see. But not only did we call the top and the bottom, but we also live on this channel talked about this exact order block set. Sorry, give it a second to zoom in. This exact order block set right here. This is what we were talking about. If we come back and we revisit this, your longing and your take profit is all the way up here. Obviously, I gave that trade out in advance. Here it is. Boom. And then you were just looking to bring it all the way up to the next order block set, which is a full take profit. That's how we called the top and bottom on gold. We also called the top and bottom on silver. Okay, there was an order block set right up here. We entered into that order block set. All we did was set our stop loss outside of the order block set. And then guess what? We targeted the next order block set on the way down right here as your full take profit. You could have gotten out here if you wanted to. You could have re-entered here if you wanted to. That's fine. But you got your full take profit right there. Boom. Really easy, really simple, cut and dry. I don't think I need to, beat on it too much. But look at this. 4.5x risk to reward. There's the top called. Now, what about the bottom? Well, the bottom was called literally right here, where you got your swing failure pattern, which is your, right here, your triangle, right? And it was into an order block set that was right here, right? Because obviously that order block set has now been mitigated. This is the exact level we've been talking about for like the past week on these streams. And look at what happened. Look at what happened. You got this too. See how price is trending down? Well, look at RSI, baby. Trending up. Look at that. Boom. Bullish divergence at the bottom. Full take profit. Went straight to our full take profit. Even if you didn't get in on this trade, you could have gotten in later, right? And you could have gotten in right here. Boom, when you hit that order block set, and then guess what? You could have also gotten it right here when you hit this order block set. That's a trend following strategy. So let's talk about Bitcoin, because we also called the bottom on Bitcoin right here. We had this trade set up a long time ago. We've taken this trade multiple times, right? You could have taken it profitably here, 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 and here. Pushed up, right? Pushed up massively, pushed up, and then obviously got the bottom, pushed up, full take profit. Literally took this trade, called the bottom on Bitcoin, and it went to the exact levels that we were talking about, right? Boom, your trend following strategy went straight to the 64.2 level, tagged into it, pushed up, tagged into it one last time, boom, full, all the way up to $65,600, which was the take profit target on that. Now, micro E-mini futures on the S&P. This is one that we also called the bottom on. Okay, the indicators did that for me. I don't even have to do that because the indicators do it for me. Bullish divergence at the bottom, right? While NASDAQ was hitting the key level of support that we've been talking about since last week. This level, look what happened. Bounce, 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 and now we're bouncing again, right? Now we're bouncing again. Swing failure patterns. That's all it was. So the correlation in the market basically caused the S&P to bounce at the same time that NASDAQ bounced, and the S&P had the nice little triangles down here. That was great. That was beautiful. But what do we know about the triangles? They need to, if they're coming by themselves and they're not coming inside of a box, they need to be coupled with a bullish divergence at the lows or a bearish divergence at the highs, right? What did we get? We got a full-on bullish divergence. Boom, push up on the S&P. That simple. Same thing happened on the NASDAQ. We called the top, right? Triangle inside of the box with, you guessed it, a bearish divergence. Watch this. Highs are getting higher. Boom, 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 right? And then guess what? Look, the highs on RSI are getting lower. Boom, boom, boom. Absolutely perfect. Full take profit. Full take profit. What was the risk to reward on this? 10x risk to reward. That means that for every $100 that you risked, you made $1,000. For every $1,000 you risked, you made $10,000. You wonder why these people are saying like, hey, Drew, I made $2,300 in 2 trades. Or hey, Drew, I made $1,100 in 1 trade my first day with the indicators. This is how. And the reason is because we train you on exactly how to do this as soon as you subscribe to the indicators. The second that you subscribe to the indicators, first off, you're trying them for $7 for the first 7 days. After that, it renews at $59, okay? But you get access to all of my proprietary strategies, and I train you exactly on how to interpret the data that's coming on these indicators, as well as use the trading strategies to make money. Okay, that's why these people are successful, because they go and take the training. It's like 5 minutes, like 10-minute videos. It's all good, right? And so when they saw this bearish divergence coming in right here, right, at the highs, it called the top. Then what happened? Well, I think we all know what happened, right? At the lows, all we did was wait until we came down into the order block set that we were talking about right here, because this was massive, massive support. There was like 2 billion or some crazy amount of money in support here. Let me zoom in just a little bit, get RSI off of here. 818,000 NASDAQ contracts were traded here, okay? That is a redonkulous amount of money that is sitting there as support. You wonder why we bounced here? You wonder why we bounced here? That's why. So when I tell you it's not about news, it's about the levels, it's about the institutional money, that's it. So what did you get here? Well, prices trending down, RSI's lows are trending up. You got the bullish divergence. So you got one here. You could have taken this trade 3 times. Once, twice, and you're getting a third entry here 3 times, right? And guess what? It doesn't just tell you after the stuff is printed. It also tells you when there's a pending swing failure pattern. So right now on the NASDAQ, there is a pending swing failure pattern. And if price stays where it's at, this will turn into a triangle inside of the box for our perfect trade, right? Our perfect trade is always this. opposing divergence with a triangle inside of the box. That's it. Look at the risk to reward on this trade. This was a 7.5x risk to reward. Even if you took it there, you still had a 5x risk to reward. It's that simple, guys. We're literally calling the bottom on every single one of these assets, almost like every single day, every single week. We're calling the tops and bottoms on it, and people are making thousands of dollars based off of this by just subscribing to the indicators. They're making money immediately, and because they're getting trained on how to use them. We don't just say, hey, go use the indicators, and you'll make money. No, I'm saying, hey, subscribe to the indicators, and I'm going to personally train you on exactly how to use them and the exact strategies to use in order to make money off of them. Now, you are going to lose sometimes. I don't hide that at all. I don't hide that at all. We've had plenty of times that we've lost, right? But when you have an 80% win rate, you don't lose often. And that 80% win rate is based off of this exact methodology. It's based off of these exact indicators. Now, what I want you to understand, and this is my second point, then we're going to get into the analysis of everything. First and foremost, Rob Ring, you barely front ran me on it. He said, please check GDXU. I will do that. Anybody that has assets that they want me to look at, drop them in the comments section. If you are an indicators user and if you've subscribed to the Alpha Intelligence indicators and you have a story, or you have like, hey, I made money on this trade or whatever, or if you made money on one of my trade setups that I gave, like inside of our private community, right? That's not Alpha Intelligence. Dude, drop it in the comments section. I love to see whenever people are winning and how they're doing it. Drop it in the comments section. Tell us your story, man. Let everybody else know, because you might help like motivate somebody else to come into the indicators and start winning. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, if you have an asset like Rob Ring 16091 said here, drop it in the comments section. I'll see if I can get to it. Second off, if you have a story about the indicators or a trade setup or money or your experience, like money that you made or an experience that you had with them, drop them in the comments section as well. Now, I want to show you how we predicted the news before the news happened, okay? And it's very simple. The one thing that moves the markets is the institutional volume. Institutions cannot just click buy and sell like we can. They're moving billions of dollars every single day, right? And so they have to like methodically build their positions long and short. They don't just click buy and sell. 95% of the volume that comes into the market it comes in from them. We only make up 5%. Retail people, we only make up 5% of the market. Meaning that if you're not tracking and understanding where 95% of the money came in and where that 95% of money needs to be protected or where their profit targets are going to be, then you're literally trading blind. Luckily, you can get Alpha Intelligence and you don't trade blind anymore. And you've got like 5 or 6 strategies that come immediately day one with it. It's very hot in Florida, by the way. It is like 100 degrees out here, but I like to stream outside so I can smoke my cigars and have fun. And I get to like move around. Yeah, I do ninja moves and stuff like that. So I'm a very animated person. I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. So I don't like doing it inside, is my point. I love it outside. That's the reason I live in Florida. If I didn't love it outside, I would live in friggin' Alaska or something. Actually, Alaska's pretty dope too. I'm not going to lie. But we knew this news was coming. I wasn't trying to predict the news. I didn't like come on stream and say like, oh, they're going to ease the bond market and pump the markets, blah, blah, blah. No, all I did was I came on stream and I said this. Hey guys, and if you've been on the channel for any length of time, you know that I did this, right? Over the past like 3 or 4 days, I basically zoomed out on the NASDAQ and I said, hey guys, if we're going to bounce, it's going to be from this level right here. Why? Because we have 818,000 futures contracts stacked at that level, stacked at that exact level. And we also have all of our lows stacked at that level. So we're probably going to come down here. We're probably going to try to swing fail it. They're going to fake you out and then they're going to push it back up, right? That's it. And I also said, hey guys, if we're going to reject, we're probably going to reject from this level or this level right here. And that's going to be the top 4 now. And then we're going to come right down into this level. Okay. Now, the reason why this level is so significant is because 818,000 contracts worth of volume came in. And we'll just do the math on that. 818,200 contracts. I think it's like $5,000 to hold these positions overnight. 4 billion. 4 billion in volume. Is that enough for you to say like this is a high level of support from an institutional perspective? $4 billion. I mean, chop that in a fourth, right? Chop that by 4. It's still $1 billion worth of volume, right? That came in literally back here on Thursday of last week. So if the institutions have to position, a week in advance, when do you think they're going to position? They're going to position here. They're going to position here. They're going to position here. They're going to position here, right? And then when they come back down to this level, guess what? They probably got out some up here. They probably got out some up here. They're going to just rebuild that same position that they had back here. That is why these order blocks suite indicators matter so much, and why alpha structure matters so much, because the boxes, that's from order blocks suite by Alpha Intelligence, right? If I turn it off, you don't see the boxes anymore, right? If I turn it back on, you see the boxes. The triangles and all of the trend status box and all this stuff over here that shows you where your highs and lows are, that is alpha structure. That's showing you the market's structure at a glance. If I turn it off, you don't see them anymore, right? So my point in saying this is that we've automated this entire system by giving you exactly where that was going to happen. And then, spoiler alert, the news comes in today, right? They pump the bond market, then they pump the stock markets, get a nice bid. Gold pushes up above 45.50. Silver pushes up back near $66, right? Bitcoin gets back up to 65.5. Micro E-mini futures on the S&P pump back up to about 77.50. And then the NASDAQ topped out at about $29,800 before it came right back down into the same support. And guess what's happening? They're just loading up more before they potentially push it back upwards. Now, does that guarantee that this level is going to hold? No, it does not. It does not. But is it more likely that we pump up here again, reject, and start coming back down? I think it's likely. I think it's likely for sure. This also has 350,000 in contracts on it, this one right here, okay? So in any case, I digress. We know what the news is before the news happens. I don't set alerts on my phone like all these other people do. Like, oh, I gotta know when the news alert. I gotta know when the news hits. I'm watching the freaking FOMC meeting. No, with this system and these indicators, dude, you do not have to do that. I got sweat in my eyes. I am dying. I'm dying, man. Oh my gosh. Where's Donna Goodo when you need her? Where's she at? Where's my media assets? Hold on.
But I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent. I cannot see. I'm legally blind. I got sweat. My eye is hot in Florida. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent, man. I'm innocent. I'm innocent, man.
So in any case, my point is that you don't have to watch the news whenever you know where the institution's positioned, when they position there, and how much they position there, because the news is going to, this volume front runs the news. If you think the institutions aren't positioning before the news, I'm just going to be honest with you. You are trading blind. You are Donna Goodo, right? This is you. This is literally you.
I'm legally blind. I can see barely.
I can see barely. But the indicators make it to where you can see very clearly, very clearly. So let's get to the analysis. Let's talk about gold, where we're going. Okay. I think we all know that we called the bottom on gold. The indicators called the bottom on gold. It was absolutely epic. It was super sick, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get my charts back onto the 1 hour chart. I'm going to get RSI off of here. Boom. Give me 1 second. All right. That's off. Okay, let's get RSI off of here, And then I'm going to show you a trend following strategy that you can use as well to catch these trends if you want to, right? All right. So first and foremost, gold, right? You think that we didn't call the bottom on gold? Yeah, it called it right here. It called it right here. It called it right here. That's perfectly fine. Great. Good, great, grand, wonderful. Glad to hear it, right? We're going to turn alpha structure off, and we're going to look at this just from an institutional positioning perspective. You're going to have resistance here. You've already taken out the 45.50 resistance that we were talking about. We needed to get to about 45.60. We just hit that, okay? And now we've taken out that resistance. We need a nice fade back down here. And then we're going to be pushing up to 46.50 to 47. That's our next resistance. And then if we zoom out a little bit further, you're going to see that we're going to be going up to about 5 thou wow, baby. 5 thou wow. Yep. 5 thou wow on gold, right? You've got your first order block set right here. Let's see if we can get that on the hourly chart. I want to see if we can get it. Damn, barely. Barely. All right. Come on, man. Give it to me. Give it to me, man. We got to let the order blocks load. We got to let the order blocks load. This is your next target, 46.50. Okay, your next target is 46.50, but you kind of want to catch a fade here before you move up. All right. Now, market structure has moved to the upside. Once you clear 46.50, your last ditch effort of any type of resistance is right here. But this has already been mitigated by 84%, meaning like you can see where this got hit back here, right? So this is not going to hold up. Okay. Once you clear this, you're coming to about 5K. You might have a nice little stop right here at 5K first, but then you're coming up to about 5,100 bucks. Okay. So like gold is like on the cusp of just boom, just blasting, bro. And anybody that's telling you different is not trading with the right tool set. And they probably don't have the lights might not be on upstairs very bright. So ultimately, what do we need to do? I would like to see us uphold this. I would like to see us come back down here because this is a massive, massive displacement move up away from price's old range, right? So this was your old range, essentially, right around there. We just boomed straight through that. When you see that happen, you cannot hold this momentum forever. And I'm going to show you how this played out with market structure, okay? So let market structure load, and it's going to show you the highs and lows of the market, and it's going to show you the trend of all the different time frames, okay? So as you can see, excuse me, the 12-hour all the way down to the 5-minute chart are all in uptrends now, okay? So now what you're going to adopt is what is called a trend following strategy. You really need to just come back down into this level right here, which has 70,000 in cumulative volume on it. Do you want to understand how much volume that is? Let's just say it costs $5,000 to hold these overnight. 350 million in volume. Now, if it costs 20,000 to hold those overnight, it's over $1 billion in institutional positioning and volume. So not only did they position back here, right? But they also bought all the way through here and made this move happen. So what would I like to see? Man, I would really like to see us come back down into this order block right here. Either this one right here, boom, right at 44.60 and bounce, or right down to 44.20 and then bounce. Okay, that's what I want to see on gold in order for us to continue this uptrend and then obviously continue, to move towards that $5,000 range. Excuse me, dude, I got to take a drink. I'm dying, man. So the good news is that the indicators give you the answers, all right? And it truly does set you up to like do very well. And like Kanye said, this is what I say, at least.
I've been doing this more than you. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
I'm asking you
You
a
ain't been doing the education.
Bro,
You ain't been doing the education.
We got the answers. We've been doing the education, right? And you're doing the education right now by, joining the streams. So, without that comedic break, let's talk about silver now, okay? So silver did exactly what we needed it to do, right? And it bounced from, one of the exact levels that we were talking about the other day, right? Which was right around here at about the 62.50 to 62.20, right? It was perfect, okay? It was beautiful. Now what we need silver to do is this, okay? First off, we got to get back up above the $67 level. That's literally all it is. If you close a 4-hour candle above $67 exactly, like $66.98, my friends, I can assure you, you are coming up to $70, and then most likely you're going to be coming up to about $70 to $74, $71 to $74 immediately after that. This is a very small volume set of resistance right here. You're going to move through this right here with the quickness. What'll probably happen is you'll push up, you'll catch a fade, you'll come back down to 67, then you'll start trying to break down this order block set right here. Now, why does this order block set matter so much from $70 to $74? Well, I'm going to show you. It has 80,000 in cumulative volume on it. It costs about $20,000 to hold one of these silver contracts overnight. It's probably much more than that. We're just guesstimating on the low end. But if you times that by the 80,000 contracts that are there, that is $1.6 billion worth of shorts that positioned there from an institutional perspective. That's just on this silver. That's just on this silver. That doesn't even account for the micro silver contracts, the ETFs, anything like that. There's going to be massive resistance here. So you're going to hit resistance at $70, period. You'll probably catch a fade here, but what do I want to see happen? I'll show you. It's very similar to gold. We made a huge displacement move up, okay? We bounced from the support that we wanted, which was 62.50, that we've been talking about for days, okay? I would like to see us come back down here to about the $64 range and then start blasting back up. Okay, now, why 64? Why $64? Well, we have this order block set right there. Sorry, I went to the wrong chart. We have this order block set right there. 1.5K in cumulative volume. It's a few million. $30 million in cumulative volume came in just right here at $64, right? Even more came in down here. Another 1,000 in cumulative volume came in right here. So I would like to see us hit this and move back up, okay? So I would like to see a nice little fade so that we can get, you know, moving up. It's going to take us a little bit longer to get up there on silver. Why? Because the 1 hour and the 15, all the way down to the 15-minute are still in downtrends. We have to clear $67 in order for those to actually move to uptrends. And then it's going to get wild because that's where you're going to start heading to the $70 to $74 range. And once you get through $74, dude, you're going into the 80s like really fast, okay? Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin, we know about it, like called the bottom on Bitcoin here. You had multiple chances to get in on the trend. You had a chance to get in on the trend here. You had a chance to get in on the trend here. Pretty insane. Had the SFP down here, called the bottoms, right? Very simple, very cut and dry. Let's go to the hourly chart and let's delete some of this stuff. And let's talk about where Bitcoin needs to go. Ultimately, all that matters is $67,000, like 67-ish, okay? Really what needs to happen is we just need to come up here and get past $67,000 or $66,500, and then we're flying. Now, how is that going to work? Well, first off, we need to uphold this support right here at $64,500. Now that we got up, regained it, that is where a decent amount of institutional volume came in. You're talking 3.7K in contracts right there. It doesn't cost that much to hold these contracts. We'll call it about $2,000. So if you got 3.7K, that's about 7.5 million in volume just that came in right here at $64,500. Obviously, you've got support here, here, and then here. But I would honestly like to see us kind of come back down here, test this level, and then move up and then crack that $67,000 or $66,600 range. Why? Because that's what's going to ultimately get us up to the, dude, I mean, you'll be going up to over $80,000 at that point, most likely. Your first resistance is going to be right here from about 71 to 74, right? See it? So 74 to $77,000. And then your next resistances are all the way up here at $80,000. You've got one level to break down in between here and there, and it's got 3.4K in volume on it. So it's not a huge level. It's like 7.5 million in shorts were gathered there. But once you break this right here, 67, well, technically 66.6. You're 66.7. You're looking to bring it to $71,000. That's Bitcoin, right? That's literally just Bitcoin. Now, if we want to talk about the S&P, okay, what you're seeing is we caught the bottom here. We know about that. We got the bullish divergence, right? And the triangles that told us to go long, okay, multiple times. Now it's pushing up. You have a nice order block right here, 15.8K in volume. That's not huge, but it's definitely worth noting, right? Because it costs about $1,500 to hold these micros overnight. That's almost a quarter, 25 million in institutional volume that happened right here, okay? Now, if you get through that, you're coming up here to the highs. And ultimately, let me show you something that's actually really cool. I have a proprietary deviation zone system that allows me to call the tops and bottoms of assets that are at all-time highs like the S&P is. Look at this. This is crazy. The S&P rejected exactly from deviation zone 2 of my proprietary deviation zones from the old market structure highs and lows. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All I did was take it from the highs and the lows, and then it rejected immediately. Obviously, it broke the highs. So then what do? Well, this is what you do. You figure out where are the new highs and the new lows, and guess what happened? Right down into deviation zone 1 of those new highs and lows. And then this is where your new resistance will be. Your first resistance, 78.75, and then 7,900 to 7,920. That's where your new resistance would be if you broke the all-time highs, right? Before you catch a rejection. Watch this. Look at exactly where price came and then put those triangles right into deviation zone 2, and now it's right back in the range. So my guess is we're probably going to come up here. We're going to reject off of this real quick, and we're going to come up for these highs. That's my guess. That's what I think is probably going to happen. Ultimately, what do you need to uphold? You really just need to uphold these two levels right here. This is over 800,000 in cumulative volume. So long as you stay up above 76.29, you're looking okay on the S&P. Okay, so you're going to receive resistance here, 78.38, and you're going to receive resistance all the way up to about $7,900, where I showed you that deviation zone 2. Now, the one thing I will say is deviation zone 2, or the deviation zones, that is not an indicator that I have invented yet. I have the 4 flagship indicators that with your subscription, you get all 4 indicators. Now, here's the problem. I'm going to make the deviation zones the next indicator. I just don't know when I'm going to get to it. But the good news is that if you join my monthly office hours calls, which I think you can find the link to that in the description, I teach those deviation zones to you every single month on those office hours calls. So feel free to do that if you want to. Yeah, if anybody has any assets, we're going to do the NASDAQ next, and then I'll take a couple of requests. If anybody has any assets that they want me to look at, please drop them in the comments section. That way I can look at them. We already have, let's see, Rob Ring 16091 wants me to look at GDXU. I feel like that's a gold ETF or something. Tax Pro Advisor. Yeah, okay. I appreciate this, man. This is what I was talking about, guys. Like if you've made any money or you've had any positive experiences, drop them in the comments. Drew's system and trading analysis is awesome. I've made profits just on his analysis, but really increased once I started using the indicators. Yeah, the subscription fees are cheap compared to the value. Yeah, I agree, man. The indicators are basically, they're the 24/7, 365. You have me and my entire methodology on your chart showing you everything that you need to know 24/7 on any asset, whether I charted it for you or not. You did it, right? You get it on your charts by just subscribing to the indicator. So, dude, Tax Pro Advisor, man, I appreciate you for saying that. Mike, you look like a veteran. If you're a veteran, thanks for your service, man. Nice to see you and Silver today. Hey, man, it's nice to see you today, man. And it's a good day for silver. Let's call it what it is. It's a good day for silver. It's a good day for gold. It's just a good day for the markets in general. So let me go ahead and let's pop up the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ. We getting nasty, baby. Look at that. Like, we literally called this trade out live on stream just now, and it's already almost at full take profit for you. I don't know what more I can do. I don't know what more I can do. Ultimately, this is all that has to happen on the NASDAQ. You got to uphold this level, man. You really just want to stay up above 29,320. Here's the beautiful thing about the indicators, man. And this is why I really like this system. 99% of people, they do this the wrong way, okay? People are so scared to be wrong. They will not take it. They can't take the fact that they're wrong. Dude, I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm good. I know I've been wrong. Ask my wife. In her opinion, I'm wrong all the time, right? But right? Not really. My wife is actually awesome. She's a living embodiment of a goddess on earth, and I appreciate her a lot. But be that as it is, I'm sure there's plenty of times she's been like, Drew, you wrong. You wrong. All right, cool. So I'm wrong in trading too. I'm wrong. I have an 80% win rate. That means at least 20% of the time I lose. I'm wrong, right? Here's the difference. The indicators tell you exactly where you're wrong and when you're wrong, and they give you that out to say like, hey, dude, cut it here. Don't hold on to it. Don't have this big ego and this big head like you can never be wrong, because you're wrong. And just know that it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't. The markets do what the markets do. This is a probabilities game. So this is why I say this. Anybody that's telling you to average in, run the other way. Seriously, run. If they're not giving you, hey, this is the entry, this is the stop loss, that's it, you cut it, dude, run the other way, because they have no idea what they're doing. And they're one of those people that have that big head and they cannot fathom being wrong. Those people are going to literally lose you money consistently, and they will wreck your portfolio. This will lose you like 1% of your portfolio when you lose, and make you like 4, 5, 6% when you win. It's insane. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say that you are entering here, right? Where is the logical place to place your stop loss? Well, if you're entering based on the order block, you literally just place your stop outside of the order block and you're targeting the highs. You still have a 2x risk to reward. You would have literally hit a 2x risk to reward even with that stop. But here's my point. If you go under here, you don't want to be in the trade anymore. Why? Because the institutions gave that level up. They said, we're good. We're not defending this anymore. So if they're not defending it, why are you? Why are you? You're not smarter than them. They are way smarter than us. And it's not because you're dumb. It's because they have unlimited money and access to unlimited funds and quants and trading algorithms and all this wild stuff that you don't. So when they're telling you, hey, we're not on this level anymore, don't worry about it. Enter on the next one, right? This has got 350,000 in volume on it. Guess what? Enter here. And then same exact thing. Place your stop loss outside of it. Take profit is at the highs or at the order block that's above it. Boom, you've got a 7.5x risk to reward. Because once you get under this level, guess what? You don't want to be averaging in. You don't want to be in it, because the next level of support is right here. So let them rip it. Let them rip it down here. That's fine. And then just enter again. And then once you finally get the one that actually hits and they kill you on it, or that you kill it on the long or the short, and you get massive profits, the one or the two losses that came don't matter. This is a system. It gives you the exact way that you should position. And it's all graphically put on your chart in advance, okay? So in any case, my point is that once you get into profit, dude, just start trailing your stop. Start trailing your stop. Don't make loser or don't make winning trades. Don't let them rip you down back into a losing trade, because in the same sense, if you would have done that here, trailed your stop, guess what? You got the same exact entry all over again. And then guess what? Boom, you blast it up, you trail in your stop, right? And then guess what? You got the same exact entry. You could have gotten that freaking thing 3 times. 3 times you could have taken the trade. They call me Drew 2 times, gonna take trade 2 times, right? Take every trade 2 times. Drew 2 times, right? And then you give it a little Harlem shake, right? Thanks for the free money. Thanks for the easy money. Thank you, institutions. I'm super happy that you can't hide your volume. I'm ecstatic. I'm elated. I'm glad. that you can't hide your volume. I welcome your volume. I welcome it because I'm going to ride your coattails like the little poo-putt peon that I am, right? So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Once you lose this level, the only other level that matters is right here. You stay up above 21 or 29, 182, you're fine, right? You're probably coming up here. But then you've got massive resistance right here, right? So where is your next resistance? $30,000, man. $30,000 to $30,100. And look at that. Like, dude, your stop loss on that is $100. Like, fine, dude, who cares? Look at this stop loss. Look at this risk to reward. 4x. That's all I'm saying. So you've got your resistance up here at about 30K. You've got your support from about 29.4 to about 29.2. Okay, so a $200 range of support. You've got your actionable setups. Obviously, the only way that these can be actionable, I get it, is if you have the indicators, but the indicators are not unattainable. It's $7 to try them for 7 days, and then it's what? $59 a month from there? Like, dude, if you're anything like these guys, right? If you're anything like these guys right here that are making $2,300 in 2 days on their first, week with the indicators, and then making $1,100 the first day back with the indicators, if you're anything like them, you're not going to care about the $59 a month renewal or the $7 that it costs to try them out and make sure that they're legit, right? Make sure they're legit, man. That's it. So that's the NASDAQ in a nutshell. There's your actionable, there's your actionability on the NASDAQ. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the, not the comments. Yeah, the comments. Okay. Again, I'm going to give you a public service announcement. We have 13 minutes. Dude, it takes me like 3 minutes to do analysis on any asset. Okay, we could probably fit 4 assets in here if we wanted to. There are 4 dozen people on this stream across all platforms. A lot of you are from Twitter. Some of you are from YouTube. Okay. If you want me to look at an asset, drop it in the comments section right now, and I will look at it. We're going to do GDXU first. And if you want to follow along, go get the indicators, man, because I promise you, when I give you this analysis, it's going to mean nothing to you if you don't have the indicators to follow it, if you're trying to trade based off of this analysis, right? So let me go ahead. I'm going to get in here, bang, and then we'll go check the Twitter comments section as well, and we'll just see. Where's x.com? We're going to have to refresh. Okay, GDXU. Yeah, it's gold miners 3x leveraged. Bro, you a wild person. Which one? Beta Pro Canadian gold miners or microsector gold miners 3x leveraged ETN? Or are you talking about GDX USDT perpetual futures? Like, which one are you talking about, bro? If you could, gold. Yeah, we already did gold, bro. We literally, that was the first thing that we did, my man. I literally showed you how to find the reversal signals using those as well. Maybe you just got here. Rewind the video, bro. I gave a master class on exactly how to find the reversals. I showed you how we called the tops and bottoms of not only gold, silver, NASDAQ. We called the bottom of Bitcoin, and we called the bottom of the S&P. So yeah, I gave about 7 examples of that throughout this stream. Micro 3X. Okay, got you. Done. Oh my goodness. Look at the gaps. Look at the gaps. Woo. Okay, so you have no support under 124. If you don't uphold 124, it's over, right? But are you gonna do that? Probably not, right? Once you lose 124, you are literally coming to $100. $100. That's where you're coming. So you got to stay up above 124. Okay. You're already receiving resistance right here. 164,000 contracts. I'll tell you how much that is. 164,000. $25 million in institutional resistance here. Okay. So you're you're literally running into it right now. 160 to 163 is a massive, massive resistance level. Now, Let's see what we got in terms of support. I mean, this is pretty decent support from 151 to 153. And then from 146 to 150, you have massive support too. 146, I would say, is your line in the sand. You've got last ditch efforts down here all the way down to about 125. My bias would be, if you come down here, you do not want to fill that gap. You want to bounce from at least 140, okay? And this thing, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Let me come on screen for this. This thing is going to be volatile. This is a 3x leveraged, like this thing's going to move, right? I mean, you see the gap up. You see the gap up. We're on a 1 hour chart. Look where it gapped up from. It gapped up from 124 to literally 144 overnight because gold pushed up. Okay. So just be careful and be cognizant of that. Like this thing can move. So when I say that there's support here at 146, right? That's just the top of the gap, right? You could come down and fill this gap all the way down to $123, right? So long as you stay up above 123, you're good. If we zoom out just a little bit, let me just zoom out just a little bit. I'll tell you what's above here, just in case somehow we do get above this 164, right? Because that's like $9 away. And on a 3x leverage, it's not that hard. Dude, I mean, you get past 164, you're coming to about 185, man. That's where you're going to receive serious resistance, 107,000 in contract volume up there. So yeah, I mean, that's what it is. And if you check the charts, right? The 1 minute all the way up to the 4 hour are all in uptrends. The only thing that needs to switch to an uptrend is the daily and the 12 hour, which is in a downtrend. And I'll show you where that switches, right? If we zoom in, let the indicators zoom in. These indicators dynamically zoom in for you, by the way. So once you zoom in and get your chart where you want it, take your hands off of the screen, light your cigar, and let it zoom in. Okay, so right there, this is all you have to do. By the end of the day today, if your daily candle closes above $150.25, then you have a full-on uptrend from the 1 minute all the way up to the 1 month chart on this asset. Pretty dope, right? That's pretty sick. That's gold in a nutshell, though, right? That's what gold does. AG First Mass Majestic. Is that you got the ticker? You got the ticker for that, bro? AG First Majestic AG. Yeah, first. Oh, AG is the ticker. Got it, bro. Majestic Silver Corp. You guys are some metals people, man. You guys are some metals people. So just so that everybody kind of knows, when I do the analysis on silver and gold, all these other assets are going to run with it, right? All these other assets, they're going to, if silver's running, the miners are going to run. If gold's running, the gold miners are going to run. The ETFs are going to run. The companies that have exposure to gold and silver are going to run. If it tanks, then those are going to tank too. But, you know, in any case, you wanted this exact particular asset. Perfectly fine. Let's do it. You're running into resistance right here, right? It's not surprising because gold and silver are both running into resistance at these exact levels, right? Look, silver, resistance, gold, running into resistance. We got to zoom out to see it, but you kind of get where I'm going with it. Okay. Now, with this being said, silver is running into the same exact resistance at the same exact place, right? So how big is this resistance? 780,000 in cumulative volume. It's massive. 22 million in active contract or in contract volume there, right? Shares. Damn, look at this one. You've got massive support here though, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. What would be cool is if silver gets that fade, you come down here, you fill the gap from that it made today. You fill that gap, you bang it, you smack the 1 hour, 30 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute lows here. You smack into this order block and then you bounce right at about $25.68. Like that's a buy. That's a buy level. And then you're targeting right up here. You're targeting about $28 to $29. Yeah, $28.50 to $29. Now, if you somehow get above that, right, say silver keeps running, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think silver's going to keep running. I think it's going to get that pullback and then it's going to run again. But once you get up above this set right here, and again, get the indicator so that you actually have this on your chart, like you're flying, dude. you're flying. Once you clear 29 bucks, you're flying up to about $32 to $33. That's pretty insane. Does anybody else have anything that they want to see? Also, you've got pretty decent level support here at $23, okay? From about $23 to $25 too. So even if you lose this level, you're going to pick up support right here, and then you're just going to keep it moving. I'm going to be honest with you. This thing's trending up, 1 hour trend, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, all in an uptrend, monthly to weekly in an uptrend. The only thing that's in a downtrend is the 4 hour through the 12 hour and daily. You got to crack this in order to get that in an uptrend. That's going to take a while, my friend. But you know, this is looking good right here. And this is actually a really good time to show you the trend following strategy. Okay. Let's show you the trend following strategy. We'll do it on silver. Oops. Okay. So this is kind of how you're going to catch the trend, right? You can see on the 5 minute, silver called the bottom with the triangle that came right at the box, whatever. It didn't call the perfect bottom, obviously, because we would have liked to see it hit the box exactly. But you know, whatever. It probably hit some other order block there that's been fully mitigated. In any case, let's talk about the trend following strategy, right? But look at this. These were your old lows, right? And guess what? You had the bullish divergence. Here's your old lows on RSI. Here's your new lows, bullish divergence, called the bottom, boom, all the way up. Now, let's show you, even if you didn't catch this bottom, that's perfectly fine, right? And that actually, just so that you know, our behave 3684, that's how you catch the bottom right there. You get the triangle inside of the box. That's one way to catch the bottom. The best way to catch the bottom is the triangle inside of the box, right? With the opposing divergence. So this is telling you to long. The divergence is price is going down while RSI lows are getting higher. Or if it's up here, it would be price is getting higher highs and the RSI is getting lower highs. That's the opposing divergence up there, in which case, if you got a triangle that's pointing down here inside of this box, you would then short. So that's kind of answers your question there. Second to that, if you get the triangle with the opposing divergence, that's how you catch the reversal right there too. Okay. So go back and watch the video, right? And it'll make a lot more sense. Now, say you did not catch the bottom here. That's perfectly fine because the indicators are still going to help you position, right? So you got an order block, you got the pullback, you got the push, and then the pullback. Then right here, an order block was created, right? You can see it. It's right there. And then guess what? Price came right back to that order block, not once, but twice, and then pushed up, right? But when it pushed up, look what happened. It created another order block. And then guess what price did? It came right back into that order block and pushed up. And then guess what it did? It created new order blocks right here after it pushed up. And then guess what it did? Came right to the order block, not once, but twice, and then pushed up yet again. And then even if you didn't catch all of those, that's perfectly fine. We had order blocks that were created right here. You revisited them, boom. We had order blocks created right here. You revisited them, boom. We had order blocks that were created right here. Let me get all these off the screen. Right here. And then guess what? You revisited it, boom. So that is your trend following strategy. Once the trend shifts to an uptrend on these smaller term time frame charts, obviously this is a bad example because the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute are in downtrends now, but here they were all in uptrends, okay? So when you see that 30 minute down to the 1 minute shift to the uptrends, that's where you cannot have to rely on reversals anymore because now you're trading with the short-term trend and you're getting in here, you're getting in here, you're getting in here, you're getting in back here, you're getting in back here, right? That is trend following 101 in a nutshell. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm sweating crazy, copious amounts right now, but does that make sense to people? Like, hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Yeah. Goro Gold Group. it's going to be the same chart, bro. We've already charted gold like 3 times. We charted the actual asset. We charted the 3X ETN, and then we just charted some other one. We can look at it, bro, but it's going to be the same chart, dude. It's going to be the same chart. Goro, Gold Mining Group. This is the last one. If you want something else, drop it in the comments section. Be more than happy to look at it later. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're running into massive institutional support or resistance right now. You're going to have massive resistance from $4.76 all the way up to $6.10, okay? And I mean, like, this is textbook resistance. But bro, I mean, look at how many times you could have caught the trend on this, man. Like, I can't make this stuff up, dude. It's absolutely insane. You had the order blocks here. You tagged into it. You created another order block here. You tagged into it. You created another order block here. You tagged into it. You created the order blocks here all the way up to there. You tagged into it like 3 times and you moved up, right? Then you gapped up. Now you've got support right here. I mean, you do have good support, but your support's all the way down here at $3.71 up to about $3.80. And then past that, you're looking at about $3 to $3.30. That's Goro in a nutshell, man. But again, these things, like, it's going to follow gold. If it's tied to gold, it's going to follow gold. Get the indicators, bro. Get the indicators, and I promise you, it's going to work. They work on every asset. They work on, I think I've proven this, every asset, every time frame, every trader type, every strategy type, everything. Forex, crypto, gold, stocks, ETFs, friggin' futures, dude, commodities, oil, natural gas. Go look at wheat futures, and it works on wheat futures, man. It is insane. And I give you every strategy you'll ever need to actually be profitable. And all I'm doing is adding new strategies all the time to give the subscribers. Like today or tomorrow, I'm gonna record a new trend following strategy video, and then I'm gonna record another reversal strategy video that goes into the customer dashboard for people that shows them how to catch the reversals, like the tops and bottoms, by using just one indicator, by using only alpha structure. You don't even need order blocks on this. Say there's no order blocks there, you can still catch the reversals with this strategy. It's nuts. So anyways, dude, seriously, guys, thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you all so much. If you have a story about the indicators or my analysis or just any experience you've ever had inside of any one of my ecosystems, dude, drop it in the comments section, man. I love hearing from you all. If you have any assets you want me to look at next time, maybe tomorrow, drop them in the comments section as well. We called the bottom on gold. We called the bottom on silver. We called the bottom on NQ, and we could have caught the bottom on the S&P. And then we called the absolute bottom on Bitcoin. We also called the top on gold, silver, and NQ all within the past week based off of these indicators. Absolutely insane. And again, like, I can give you the levels. I'm not going to give you the trades because you can base the trades off of the indicators if you subscribe to them. But also I give out the actionable trade setups elsewhere, and you can find the information about that in the description. I will see you all soon. Thank you all so much for showing up. I do have a stream in 30 minutes on Ben Pool's channel. It's Pro Trader Ben Pool. If you want to show up to that, we're going to run through all this stuff. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be badass. I'll see you all soon. Peace.